Imagine the world suddenly falling silent. Not the peaceful hush of a forest, but an unnerving stillness in our always connected lives. No chirping notifications, no endlessly scrolling feeds, no immediate answers at our fingertips. What if in a blink the invisible web that binds our modern world simply vanished? The internet has become the very foundation of our 21st century existence. We depend on it for nearly everything. From maintaining connections with family and friends across vast distances to managing our finances, accessing crucial information, and even operating vital infrastructure. It's so seamlessly integrated into our daily routines that we rarely give it a second thought. It's just there. But consider this, what if it wasn't? What if the intricate network of wires, signals, and servers that underpins our digital world were to abruptly cease functioning? This isn't a scene ripped from a science fiction thriller. It's a thought experiment with profound ramifications for every facet of our society. Let us explore the potential reality of a world suddenly plunged offline. The first day without the internet would likely be characterized by widespread bewilderment. Our primary and most immediate means of digital communication would be gone. Emails would remain unsent, social media platforms would become dormant, and messaging applications would simply fail to establish a connection. Reflect on the last occasion when your Wi-Fi experienced a temporary outage for a few hours. Now, amplify that sense of frustration and disconnection exponentially. The silence wouldn't be the tranquil quiet of a peaceful evening, but rather the deafening silence of a disconnected society. While basic cellular voice services might initially remain operational, the extensive reliance of modern smartphones on internet connectivity for applications and data services would render them significantly limited. News dissemination would also face severe impediments. Online news outlets, which have become primary sources of information for many, would be inaccessible. Traditional media channels might struggle to effectively fill the resulting information void with the necessary speed and comprehensiveness. This sudden absence of readily available news could create an environment ripe for the spread of unverified rumors and misinformation, a situation that can be particularly dangerous during times of crisis. Furthermore, fundamental services that rely on online connectivity, such as digital payment processing systems, could grind to a complete halt. As one account illustrates, even a localized cable cut led to debit and credit cards becoming unusable, forcing businesses to either close or resort exclusively to cash transactions. This highlights the immediate and pervasive disruption to everyday commerce that a widespread internet collapse could trigger. The economic repercussions stemming from an internet collapse would be nothing short of devastating. In our deeply interconnected global landscape, businesses of all scales have become heavily reliant on the internet for a multitude of essential functions. These include managing complex supply chains, facilitating online sales and marketing efforts, processing financial transactions, and conducting crucial research and development. The cessation of internet services would therefore send shockwaves across virtually every sector of the global economy. Even partial disruptions to internet connectivity have been shown to have material economic effects by hampering productivity, frustrating business confidence, and souring investment across various sectors, ultimately leading to economic losses that affect individuals and businesses alike. E-commerce platforms and businesses operating entirely online would face an immediate cessation of operations, leading to massive revenue losses and potentially widespread bankruptcies. Global supply chains, which have become intricately reliant on internet-based communication and tracking systems for efficient inventory management, shipping schedules, and overall coordination, would experience severe disruptions. Financial markets worldwide would likely be thrown into a state of severe crisis. Online banking services, stock trading platforms, and the infrastructure for international financial transactions would be severely impacted, potentially triggering a global financial meltdown. Furthermore, a significant surge in unemployment could occur as businesses find themselves unable to operate effectively without internet connectivity. The interconnected nature of the modern economy means that the ripple effects of an internet collapse would be felt across all industries, leading to widespread economic instability. The role of the internet in modern healthcare and emergency services is nothing short of critical. From facilitating access to comprehensive patient records and coordinating intricate treatment plans to guiding emergency responders to those in need and managing large-scale emergency responses, our capacity to deliver essential care is now heavily reliant on seamless online connectivity. Hospital functions encompassing patient admittance, access to patient portals, diagnostic testing, surgical procedures, and billing processes all depend on internet infrastructure. Similarly, pharmacy operations, including dosage lookup, doctor approvals for prescriptions, and the processing of prescriptions themselves, are increasingly digitized and internet-dependent. The rise of telehealth services has further embedded the internet into the healthcare landscape, enabling remote consultations and monitoring of patients. However, an internet collapse would abruptly halt these vital services. Remote medical consultations would be cut off mid-session, and crucial medical records stored in digital databases would become inaccessible, leaving healthcare professionals scrambling to provide care without essential information. The very pulse of modern medicine would falter. Emergency services would face substantial hurdles in communication, coordination, and navigation. The reliance on internet-dependent systems such as GPS for guiding ambulances and other emergency vehicles would be lost. Emergency dispatch centers, while still able to receive calls, would lack the digital infrastructure to efficiently coordinate responses and access critical information about the location and nature of emergencies. Furthermore, the absence of the internet could severely disrupt the intricate supply chain for essential medical supplies and pharmaceuticals, as ordering, tracking, and delivery systems are now heavily reliant on online connectivity. This disruption could lead to critical shortages of life-saving medications and equipment, further compounding the challenges faced by the healthcare system in a world offline. Beyond the immediate disruptions to our personal and economic lives, the internet underpins much of the essential infrastructure that we often take for granted. This includes critical systems such as our power grids, water treatment and distribution networks, and various transportation systems. The communications sector is recognized as providing an enabling function across all critical infrastructure sectors, highlighting the internet's pervasive role. Sectors like energy, finance, and transportation are increasingly reliant on internet-connected devices and systems, collectively known as the Internet of Things, IoT, and operational technology. Power grids, in particular, are undergoing a significant transformation with the increasing integration of smart technologies that rely on internet connectivity for monitoring, control, and automation. While power grids possess some level of localized control, the trend towards smart grids necessitates online monitoring to efficiently manage energy supply and demand, as well as to respond to fluctuations and potential outages. Without this online infrastructure, power grids could become unstable and more susceptible to widespread cascading failures. Similarly, other vital infrastructure, such as water treatment plants and transportation networks, are also incorporating IoT devices and online control systems to enhance efficiency and management. An internet collapse could disrupt these automated processes, potentially leading to disruptions in essential services. Adding to the complexity, there exists a critical interdependence between power and communication infrastructures. Internet infrastructure, including servers, data centers, and network equipment, relies heavily on a stable power supply. Conversely, power grids are increasingly dependent on internet connectivity for their operation and management. This interconnectedness creates a potentially dangerous feedback loop. A widespread power outage could further cripple efforts to restore internet services, and conversely, a major internet outage could impede the ability to effectively manage and restore the power grid in the event of a disruption. This mutual dependency underscores a significant vulnerability within our interconnected infrastructure. A major triggering event could potentially set off a cascading failure across both the power and communication systems, leading to a prolonged and widespread crisis. An internet collapse would extend its impact far beyond the tangible disruptions to our daily routines and essential services, reaching into the very fabric of our social interactions and psychological well-being. We have, as a society, grown accustomed to instant access to a vast ocean of information, a constant state of connection with others, and a world increasingly mediated through digital screens. The sudden absence of this digital realm would necessitate a fundamental shift in how we interact with each other and the world around us. The loss of immediate access to information could lead to a decline in readily available knowledge and a potential surge in the spread of misinformation, at least in the immediate aftermath of the collapse. Our ingrained habit of turning to search engines and online resources for quick answers to even the simplest queries would be rendered useless, potentially hindering problem-solving and decision-making processes across various aspects of life. social interactions would likely undergo a significant transformation, potentially shifting back towards more direct, face-to-face communication. While this could foster stronger local community bonds, it would also present challenges for maintaining relationships with individuals geographically distant. The ease with which we currently connect and communicate across the globe would be lost, requiring a reversion to older, less instantaneous methods. The psychological impact of a sudden and complete disconnection from our digital lives could manifest in a wide range of ways. Some individuals might experience anxiety, a sense of withdrawal, and even a fear of missing out on vital information or social connections. Others, however, might find a sense of liberation in the absence of constant digital stimulation, potentially leading to increased mindfulness and a greater appreciation for the physical world around them. Personal accounts of periods with limited or no internet access reveal a spectrum of experiences, from feelings of isolation to a surprising sense of peace and productivity. Furthermore, the widespread availability of online education and remote work opportunities has become a defining feature of the modern era. An internet collapse would eliminate these avenues, potentially impacting livelihoods, hindering educational progress, and exacerbating existing inequalities in access to both education and employment. While the scenario of a complete and prolonged global internet collapse might seem like a distant possibility, it is prudent to consider the various threats that could potentially lead to such an event. The intricate and interconnected nature of the internet infrastructure makes it susceptible to a range of disruptions, both intentional and accidental. Cyber attacks in their various forms represent a significant and ever-evolving threat. Sophisticated ransomware attacks could target critical internet infrastructure, such as domain name system DNS servers, major cloud service providers, or the physical infrastructure itself, potentially causing widespread outages. The recent disruption caused by a faulty software update from the cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike, which affected millions of Windows devices globally, serves as a stark reminder of how even seemingly minor technical issues can have far-reaching consequences. Natural disasters also pose a considerable risk to the internet's infrastructure. Severe solar storms have the potential to cause widespread and prolonged outages by damaging satellites and inducing powerful currents in terrestrial infrastructure. Submarine communication cables, the backbone of global internet connectivity, are vulnerable to damage from earthquakes, underwater landslides, and even severe weather events. Geopolitical conflicts and government actions can also lead to internet disruptions. Intentional shutdowns are often employed by governments during periods of unrest or conflict to control information flow. The deliberate targeting of internet infrastructure, including undersea cables, in times of conflict is also a concerning possibility, as highlighted by the recent incident in the Red Sea. While the prospect of a world without the internet is undoubtedly a daunting one, and the initial shockwave of such an event would be immense, history suggests that humanity possesses a remarkable capacity for resilience and adaptation when faced with profound change. Societies have weathered numerous technological disruptions and global crises throughout history, finding ways to not only survive, but also to innovate and rebuild. In the event of an internet collapse, it is highly probable that individuals and communities would find alternative means to reconnect and communicate. Perhaps there would be a resurgence in older, more localized forms of interaction, strengthening community bonds in ways that have been diminished by our digital saturation. We might see a renewed reliance on traditional methods of communication, such as landline telephones and postal services. The absence of streaming services and online entertainment could lead to a rediscovery of physical media, board games, and other forms of analog engagement. Just as societies before the advent of the internet devised ingenious ways to transmit information over distances, such as messenger pigeons and horseback riders, a world offline would likely spur innovation in communication technologies and strategies. The crisis could also serve as a powerful catalyst for re-evaluating our relationship with technology, fostering a greater appreciation for face-to-face interactions and the tangible world around us. Furthermore, a major internet collapse would undoubtedly highlight the critical importance of resilience and redundancy in our essential infrastructure. This realization could prompt significant investments in developing more robust, decentralized, and perhaps even offline-capable systems for critical services like power, water, and emergency response. While the transition to a world without the internet would undoubtedly be challenging and disruptive, the enduring human need for connection and the capacity for innovation suggests that we would ultimately find our way back, perhaps forging new paths and rediscovering older ones in a world fundamentally reshaped. What are your thoughts on this scenario? How do you envision adapting to a world without the internet? Share your perspectives and ideas in the comments section below. And if you found this exploration of a world offline thought-provoking, we encourage you to explore our other videos that delve into the fascinating, telling what-ifs that shape our world.